Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Virgo in May 2020. What's going on, Virgo? How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. That's very rare that I have like playful energy with a Virgo, and that's interesting because I know a couple of Virgos and I'm very playful with them in real life. But with your energies, when I normally do tarot, Virgo, it's very rare that I come in with that. So maybe that's a good sign. Maybe you guys are in a playful energy. Maybe you guys are in a playful mood. Weather's getting nice. Maybe your quarantine orders are lifting and social distancing is possibly being a little bit relaxed where you are. Hopefully, if that's what you're after. Hopefully that's what's going on. And in the middle of all of this, it's still a pandemic, my friends. It's still very serious. I hope you are taking your precautions and you are out there practicing safety. If you are going out and meeting up with people, now that many of us are seeing those restraints a little bit relaxed. Where I am, I think Friday, they started opening up some businesses. So, again, if you're out there and enjoying yourself and being with friends and family, make sure you do so safely because, again, it still is a pandemic. There really isn't a vaccine, right? And, well, whatever. I'm not going to get into it. So, please be safe. Please be cautious. Please be happy and please be healthy, okay? Virgo, let's get into it. I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I will shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lined face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have a question before you place an order, always feel free to email me at the same address and I'll answer you as soon as I can. And your girl is on Instagram. Many of you already know this, but if you didn't, here's a reminder. Wabow. Right around here, you will see that that name on Instagram is EmpathicFire Tarot. So if you want to follow me over there, I do semi-daily, every other day oracle pulls. I intuitively interpret them. I might start doing some pick-a-card stuff over there. So if you want to follow me, see what I do in other mediums or on other platforms, feel free to do so, okay? All right, Virgo, let's get into it. I want to see Virgo's outcome for May 2020. May 2020, please show me Virgo's outcome. May 2020, please show me. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Come on, there we go. And up's a daisy. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and flip a cane face down so we can see the full picture. Okay. 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 Virgo. Come on. That was for me, not for you. Come on, with straightening the cards. There we go. All right, let's see what's going on. Please show me where Virgo is in May 2020. May 2020, where's Virgo? Please show me. Okay. You got it. All right, Virgo, coming into May, you come in with the energy of the Page of Coins, my friend. So, Earth sign energy towards Virgo, Capricorn. This could be you. This could be someone else. Does not have to be an Earth sign, though. Page of Coins, small offers or tentative offers, messages, tentative messages, or small messages. Is other like tiny messages. So texting, TikToks if you're into that shit, or Snapchats. Is that even like still cool? I don't have kids and I don't hang around too many young people, right? So I don't even know if Snapchat is even still a viable social media source. But or if not, small offers or small messages, bite-sized messages, right? If it's not that, it would just be slow progress towards something. Page of Coins is very logical, practical, doesn't like to rush, doesn't like to make big splashes is very much, if this was like literally going into a pool, how to get into a pool, this person walks in from the stairs or from the ladder. They don't even like slide in from the side of the pool. They like walk into the pool. They don't make a splash. And I'm not saying like this person is boring or this energy is boring and anything like that. It's just, it's very cautious and it's very aware of its impact. It doesn't want to shake things up too much. It doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. It's very demure, or it's very, in some cases, apologetic. This person could be, but ultimately, small baby steps forward. No real reason to rush. No real reason to make a fuss. Okay, that could be in relation to or a reaction to how you are. If where you are, hey, the beaches are open. Hey, you can go back out to the mall. Hey, you can go to the barber shop. Business is open, open for business. This person is just like, I'll give it another week. Like they're not rushing back out into the world. This person is very cautious to get involved in a big way. Does that make sense? Could be you, could be someone else. I'm not really sure right now, but that's kind of pretty much what I'm getting from that. Could be frazzled a little bit. Okay, that could make sense, because like I'm looking at these papers flying all around this page, and it makes me think of like tax accounting and stuff like that, and how stock image photo of accountant shows like a lot of papers strewn about, people punching madly into like an old-fashioned calculator. It's just like being overwhelmed with the details, or being really fixated on a task. And this person might have that energy. This person might have this energy of, well, I just got used to being under quarantine, so it's going to take me like a week or two to refocus and reshift myself in how I perform and how I, go back to work and all this other kind of stuff. This person is slow to do anything, period. Anything else? Yeah, and I mean, I think this person is, they're really smart to do that. There's something about where this person's pace is smart for them. Let's say it that way. It's a smart move for them to be as slow as they are, as cautious as they are. Does that make sense? Okay. So what else happens for Virgo? Please show me. Well, okay, that would be why. Surrounding this person are some heavy-hitting energies, and it's not easy to navigate between them. Interesting, between them. Okay. So what I'm sensing is... Wow. Like my energy just suddenly got really drained. And that could be what this person is like. Moving too fast, making certain decisions, being involved to a certain extent drains them. And to reintroduce them into society, not like, they're Quasimodo or anything. We've all been under quarantine to some degree or fashion, right? So this person takes time to acclimate, takes time to rectify how they are or what they can and cannot do when change comes upon them. This is further compounded or complicated because this person has a very sensitive internal world. Okay. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay. This person is like really sensitive, and like you need to handle them, or people need to handle you. It could be you, could be someone else. I don't know. But whoever this is needs to be handled with kid gloves. They need to be treated gently, and they need to be given space and time to become comfortable before they can actually do anything worthwhile. It's like somebody who like they're slow to do anything. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's cute because it might annoy you, or if this is you, you might annoy other people, Virgo. You know, you kind of know if this is you or not, right? This person is so slow to do things. It's like it's like an old person. And I'm not saying that this person is old. In fact, as a page, they're probably young, or they carry young energy. They could be a child, okay? This person, like, literally, like, if the task at hand, I hope you get what I'm showing you. If the task at hand was to literally flip all of these cards so that they're face down, this person would do it like this. If they were timed, they wouldn't care. They would just do it at their own pace. You see what I mean? If it was me, I'd be like, boom, 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 boom. It would be done. But this person takes a while to do anything. And that is because they're sensitive. That is because they are possibly incapable of going any faster. They might have a slower processing speed in terms of when they're asked to do a task or when they're asked a question. They could speak slowly. They could take a long time to process their answers. Hey, page of coins, how are you doing? I'm good. You know, standard interactions like that are, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. How long does that take? 2 seconds? You ask this person, how you doing? I'm doing okay. And it's not bad. It's just this is their natural demeanor. Now, could be a child because it is a page. So I could be talking about someone who is not even an adult, right? I could be talking about somebody who's like, 7 years old or 9 years old or something like that. And, when you're a kid or someone who's still developing, you have those sensitivities. You have that vulnerability. You have that, I'm not actually at that level to quickly process information or quickly move through a conversation, right? Or they could be an elderly person, and for cognition reasons, for reasons of their physicality, they just can't move at a certain speed that is quote unquote normal or expected, right? Now, this is compounded because of that sensitivity and that vulnerability that I sense from them, okay? They are, for those where it's not a child, it will apply to children and elderly people, but just to speak to children and the elderly, they may be slow because of cognition. Children of a certain age haven't developed certain coping skills or, certain, biophysical mechanics to do things at a certain speed or be able to process things as quickly. And the reverse is somewhat true for some elderly people, that ability has degraded. So that could be literally why this person doesn't do things at a certain speed or with a certain effectiveness. Effectivity. Wow. Effectiveness, right? For those where it's not, able-bodied adults, full cognition adults, this is what's going on. It still applies to the children and the elderly, but more to the point, for those that are like cognitively able, physically able, here's what happens. This person is very sensitive. This person is very confused. This person is very caught up in what did I say? An internal world. Internal world is in peril is the word they want me to say. In peril. Okay. In peril. Why? Oh, I see. Okay. Duh. They're like right there. So the internal world of this person, regardless of who they are, regardless of their age, right? And could be you, could be someone else. The moon card. Major arcana for Pisces. Could be dealing with a Pisces in some form or fashion, but you don't have to be. This is giving me, in this moment, Alice in Wonderland vibes, right? There's Alice with the little chunk of moon rock or snowball or whatever the hell she has behind her back, and there's what's that? He's the white rabbit, right? In this case, he's the golden rabbit. But the idea of Alice in Wonderland is what? It's a cerebral, surreal experience, right? She's basically transported to another world where such spectacles and such crazy shit just happens. There's an invisible cat, a huge caterpillar with a smoking with a smoking habit, right? That's not real shit. You got people having a tea party. It's just one guy and his rabbit. What? There's just crazy stuff in there. Okay, so what am I saying? This person has a very rich imagination. This person is very cerebral in that way. They are in their head a lot, more than anywhere else possibly. And the aspect of the tarot that applies is that their head and their heart, or their head and their emotions, are very intertwined. They might have issue, or they might spend a great amount of time rationalizing their emotions or logically working through their emotions, right? They might have a very hard time distinguishing between whether they're motivated by what they feel or they're motivated by what they perceive or what they can discern in a situation. AKA how people would categorize this person. Oh, you're so emotional. That's how this person would be categorized. That's how they would be labeled. You're so emotional, right? Their internal world is so different than their reality because of that Alice in Wonderland thing that I'm feeling here. And that makes sense. The moon card is not about reality. If you don't know much about tarot, or you don't know much about what the moon card is associated with Pisces, which is then by proxy associated with the planet of Neptune. Neptune is about fantasy. Neptune is about the subconscious, illusions, delusions, fantasy, like I said, masquerades, right? And having a rich internal experience where you can get lost in your own world in order to cope or avoid or somehow just brighten your own day. Many people have this skill. I'm one of them, where I can really disappear into a thought and really it can change my mood. Maybe that's the empathic part of me. I don't know. The other thing, or maybe not the other thing, but the other way that you can read that is disassociation, which is a psychological disorder, I guess. I don't know. And this person might have that. Okay? This person is very rich, has a rich internal world. Rich as in, not plentiful. Rich as in robust, colorful. A lot of things happen to this person inside. Whether they express it or not, whether they're aware consciously of what's going on or not, I don't know. But there's a huge emotional wealth that this person has. And it might be the reason why externally, as they show up in the physical world, because coins or pentacles represents physical represents physical representation, it shows up in our 3D. We can perceive it, we can see it, we can touch it, we can smell it, we can taste it, right? That includes people, objects, food, all that kind of stuff, right? You perceive it in the natural world, okay? That's what coins refers to. This person's external world has a certain look that does not match up with, or is often not as exciting, not as interesting, not as comforting, not as pleasurable as their internal world. Or complex, because again, this person, I think, again, would be labeled as, oh, you're so emotional. Why are you so emotional? Everything you do is like, like somebody is possibly criticizing this person, and then that just pushes them further into their emotions. Look how huge this moon is. Look how huge it is. And also look how she's pointing. That could be, the criticism. Hey, golden rabbit, you're being so emotional. And that then is the motivation for the rabbit to go running into that huge moon, into their emotions. This person is very sensitive. So, that's one aspect of what's going on outside of them, or not what's going on outside of them, but like that's one aspect of why they're doing whatever they're doing in the page of coins. Okay, other aspect, the devil. All right, major arcana Capricorn. For Capricorn, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, but you don't have to be. This person might have. Okay, thank you. This person might have issues with substances, straight up. Because fantasy, escapism, illusions, delusions, if you know anything about Pisces and Neptune is indulgence. Not hedonism, because that kind of a little bit is, I think, a little bit given more to the 5th house, Leo energy, but I could be wrong. But basically like pleasure. Thank you. Pleasure. Now, I've never done a drug in my life, but I've been drunk several times. And so I'm a good drunk too. Why do people, whether we believe this or not, but what is the big reason that people initially get into substances, get into using drugs, get into any type of destructive behavior or codependent behavior? There's pleasure involved. It doesn't even have to be drugs. Okay, it doesn't have to be alcohol. It doesn't have to be anything illicit. This person could love the shit out of a dozen donuts. This person could eat a dozen donuts on their own twice a week. Is that a healthy practice? No. But is it pleasurable? Yeah, damn right it is. I want a Boston cream and I want it right now. This is not me speaking. I don't like Boston cream. But you know what I mean? So this person has indulgences. This person gives into their vices, or they struggle with their vices. If they don't give into it, they struggle. And that's really hard to do. Or hard to deal with. Because I really get the sense of somebody, just not everybody, but a few, where if this is about drugs or any type of addiction, there's like an emotional pull to it. I don't suffer from addiction. I know people who do. And it's a fucked up cycle where you feel bad about yourself, you feel bad about your circumstances, so you seek out the hit, you seek out the drug, you seek out whatever you're codependent on, right? And then you get that hit, you get that high, and your emotions, therefore, for like a moment, you feel euphoric. You feel released from all your worries, right? You're in that moon card where your internal world is altered and you are at peace and nothing bothers you and nobody's angry at you. Nobody's sad with you. Nobody's disappointed in you. You're not disappointed in yourself. You're contented and you're at ease. But then the high wears off and you come crashing back down into reality. And what do you see in your reality? You see yourself as a failure. You see yourself as not doing what you need to do to be a good person, to be a good husband, to be a good mother, to be a good anything, right? And you start kicking yourself. And then that cycle starts again. You need the repeated volleying between feeling like crap, seeing your reality, and not being a viable part of it, or perceiving yourself to be, I should say that, perceiving yourself to be, and then jumping back into your internal world. And the springboard to get over to that deep internal world where nothing bothers you, you're living in a fantasy, your body feels, whatever, is this. This is a cycle, right? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Person might be a back and forth type of energy, or the way that they show up in their lives or show up in whatever situation they're involved in is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah? These two together, this person is, they struggle. They're struggling. And you may or may not be aware, because how they show up is a little meek, unsuspecting. There's nothing about this person that makes you think, or that would make many people think that they're bad. Because, when we talk about substance abuse or we talk about addiction, a lot of people have a perception that, it means you're a bad person, or it means you constantly make bad choices and you're horrible and all this other kind of stuff, right? In some cases, sure, there are some very nasty addicts out there. There are some very affected people by their addictions, and they're not great. But there are many, I feel probably many more functioning addicts who try their best, who maybe have 2, 3, 4 months of good behavior and then they go on a bender, right? Or they fall off the wagon and they apologize and they make baby steps to improving themselves because they know it's the right thing to do. Or they're trying to make amends and they're trying to keep their physical life, again, coins, physical life on the right track. But it's not a hugely impactful or effective action, right? Because this is a page. It's very small. I said that when we first started. These are small baby steps. These are little actions that a person can take to get themselves on the right track. And they stay there for a while on the good side of the fence, right? But then at some point, their physical world doesn't match their internal world. They maybe start to criticize themselves or other people start to criticize them. Oh man, you're just being so emotional again. Like, what's wrong with you? How come you're crying? How come you're this? How come you're that? And all these questions, all these criticisms, all of this, this person is so sensitive that even a question of, how are you doing today? Are you all right? Like, okay. Addict or not, if someone has this back and forth, towing the line and then they crash and burn, tow the line, crash and burn, if they have that repeated pattern, whether there's drugs involved or not, the moment where someone, even if they're asking with sincerity, even if they're asking without judgment, how you doing today? Are you having a good day? Is everything all right? That, to this person, sounds like criticism, or sounds like the person asking is expecting this person to screw up, to fuck it up. And so that messes with their mind. Oh man, they don't believe in me. Oh man, they're worried about me. And it puts this pressure on this person to continue to be good, to continue to toe the line, to continue to be the better part or the better version of themselves. And that pressure mounts, the physical world, the outside world becomes too much to bear, and they run into their emotional, their internal space. They rush in there, and it's aided by whatever vices are out here with the devil. Does that make sense? Whoever needs this message, it makes sense. For those in this ain't your message, sorry. So this person, oh my God. I feel for them. I really do. Because I don't think that this person is a child, like the page indicates. Pages indicate immature energy, immature as in no experience. But actually, I think this person is very mature in the sense of they've lived a while. This is, for most of you, this is not a child. For most of you, this is an adult. If you're watching this, according to my analytics, you're over the age of 18. Okay? So you lived a little bit, right? So this person perceives themselves to be less mature than maybe their age, and not even perceive themselves. Let me take that back. The age of this person is not indicative to how mature they are. Thank you. So this person could be 48 years old, but they don't behave that way. Or they haven't really mastered their own inclinations, their own personality, their own shortcomings enough to the point where we would say, hey, you're acting like a 48-year-old. See, that's another thing. Okay, that's another possible criticism. Why do you act that way? You're blah, blah, blah years old. Why do you act that way? You're the father in this household, or you're the head of this household. Why are you acting like a baby? Like I said, this could be a child in here. So how can I say this? You could be talking to your adult child, or these could be your parents talking to you. 30-something years old, 40-something years old, 50-something years old. And your senior parent says to you, you've been living on this earth for 50. I don't know where this voice is coming from. Sorry. You've been here for 50 years. Why are you acting this way? Shouldn't you be an adult by now? And it's just like, great, now I feel like a baby again, and now I feel insecure again. So let me go ahead and dive into my deep, deep, deep emotions and screw this up again. This is a cycle. This is trash. Not Let me amend that. It's not trash as in I dismiss it. It's trash as in it's a trash and unfortunate experience. It's not easy to deal with this. This is difficult, and I do have sympathy, but it's trash because I don't perceive that the criticism, whether it's perceived or factual, is really what is helping. Some people, they don't know that asking certain questions or being in a certain tone of voice can really screw a person over. Especially if for your experience with them or their experience with you, they keep saying, you're emotional, you're emotional. Okay, well, if I'm an emotional person, why are you talking to me this way? Why are you criticizing me with this way? That's the trash I'm talking about. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my hand off camera. I'm like, yeah, I'm pointing to my own head. Okay, so maybe this is like a mental disorder. Maybe. That definitely, again, if for those Virgos who are unaware or don't know much about Neptune and the moon and Pisces, just go peruse. Search the mighty Lord named Google for information on Pisces, Neptune, the moon, and 12th house. Read up on it. There's a lot of shit in the 12th house. It's a complex place. There's a lot of things about Pisces and the moon and Neptune. It's a multi-layered, multifaceted energy, combined and separately, that encompasses so much. Let's move on, man. And I picked this up. Yes, this is right. Okay, thank you. So the other aspect is this King of Cups energy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. They could be, or you could be dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but you don't have to be. Here we go again. Emotional. And there's nothing wrong with being emotional. But you see how big that cup is, that throne cup that he's sitting on? This person sits in their emotions for a long time, if not all the time. It's where they rest. It's the foundation, it's their foundation. Cute. I've been watching Westworld recently. I binged it since I've been home. I've been watching it with my sister and one of my close friends. And one of the plot points in that show is cornerstones, right? So if you know that show, you know what I'm talking about. So this person's cornerstone is their emotions, is how they feel about things. And that's a strength in many ways. Some of us go through the world and we lead with our mind, with our logic, with our intelligence, or how we analyze the world, right? Others of us, we feel our way through life. This person feels their way through life. And there's nothing wrong with that. And actually, see, this is why. This is a king. It's not a page. This is a king. So this person has a mastered relationship with their emotions, whether they know it or not. Like I said, this person has a very rich imagination. In their internal world, in their imagination, they are in control. On the outside world, where they physically show up as the Page of Coins, perhaps they perceive themselves, or it's literally their reality. They don't have as much control. Pages don't control shit, okay? In terms of tarot, pages don't do a damn thing in terms of too much impact or effect on a situation, right? They don't call the shots. They answer to the shots. They answer to the call, okay? They take orders. They don't give them, right? That's a discrepancy. If I'm talking about the same person, and I believe I am, internally, they call the shots. They're the master of how they feel, when they feel, what they feel, or at least they're aware of it, right? Even if they don't believe themselves to be in control of it, right? And they sit on this throne. Oh, look. Okay, that's purposeful. This person might have disassociation. And I'm not a therapist. I'm not able to diagnose, okay? So don't take that to the bank, okay? But look at his eye line, and then look where the Page of Coins would be on the board. He's looking down in a diagonal to where the Page of Coins is on the board. This person has an interesting view of themselves. They view themselves in a multifaceted way. In one respect, I'm this. In another respect, I'm that. When it comes to this, I'm like that. But when it comes to this, I'm another way. They have a dissected view of themselves. Interesting. A dissected view. At work, I'm like this. In the house, I'm like that. When I'm with my friends, I'm like this. When I'm with my family, I'm like that. They show different sides of themselves. They purposely do this. Thank you. Devil, right above the devil. Absolutely. This person is very, they cope. This is how they cope. Something about this is how it has to be. Because that's the thing about kings. God, I'm going to use this phrase. I hate it so much. Kings have this energy of it is what it is. Kings are normally very fixed and rigid, very solid in their positions. You know, that's why they sit most of the time on their thrones. Queens sit on their thrones too, but not all queens in various tarot decks are seen to be sitting, right? Sometimes they're ascending a staircase or they're standing in a garden, right? They're a lot more mobile. Kings are usually on thrones. They don't move. So this person has a very fixed way that they view themselves and or their circumstances. And they put, across from the moon, they put on different masks. Like I said about the moon, masquerades, fantasies. Okay, that's all part of the moon and Piscean energy and all that good shit. Neptunian energy, 12th house. Look it up if you don't know about it. So this person controls as much as they can by putting on different masks and performing differently in different spaces. While at the same time looking at the Page of Coins with sympathy. Or could be like an inner child type thing. That is more than a buzzword. That is an actual true concept that I think more people need to explore about themselves. I'm only tipping, getting or at the tip of the iceberg really for myself. But inner child work, inner childhood wounding, stuff like that. They sound like buzzwords. They might sound like bullshit to people. No, they're for real. Even traditional psychology talks about this kind of stuff, but they talk about it in a different way. So there could be this protective energy someone has towards themselves regarding their own inner child. They have possible demons and like I said, wounding surrounding that Page of Coins energy about themselves. And they may or may not be consciously aware because the King of Cups next to that moon, there might not be a lot of conscious action, conscious awareness of what's going on, but it's here. Something can be here and exist and you're not aware of it. Are you ever in every waking moment conscious of the oxygen that's in the air? No, but it's there. You see what I mean? So, yeah. All right, what's next? All right. That's weird. What is that? Okay, hold on. So we have wishing. There's wishing. And then there's defeated energy. So wishing here, in the back of this King of Cups mind, because again, his face is diagonal down towards the page. So in the back of his mind, and I'm saying him because it's a king, this could be a woman, it's a general, no gender, okay? But in the back of this person's mind, you've got this wishing with the Nine of Cups. This could be a part of their fantasy. This whole top line is water energy, so it's deep emotions, okay? Emotions have value, emotions have importance, and weight, but it's subjective, okay? And it's hard to rectify or reconcile with reality sometimes, okay? So this person in this top energy has a wish somewhere in the back of their mind that goes unfulfilled. a wish in the back of their mind that they may have turned away from. Because again, his look is down there. He's not even acknowledging what's going on over here. The King of Cups, okay? So, unfulfilled wishes, daydreaming, wanting something that they don't have now, but actually not able to obtain this. You know, the Nine of Cups, in different contexts in tarot, in different spreads, you know, in different energies, I would interpret this differently, but I feel that this is a dream unfulfilled. This is a wish that's not come true. And it could be possibly that this person has abandoned their dream, right? Could be that this person at the moment can't prioritize or focus on this dream. Other things are pressing, perhaps, okay? This could be wishing to have a certain relationship. As you can see, there are two people on that card, right? Could be that. Could be wishing to be closer to an individual. Could be, you know, an estranged family member. I miss the chats I used to have with my grandfather. I wish I was close with him. Or I wish I could talk to my own daughter, but things between us aren't good right now, but I'm going to hold out hope, or I'm going to keep that fantasy in the back of my mind, you know, because possibly if this is about a relationship, that relationship possibility is possibly gone. That relationship possibility is possibly gone. Oh my God. But you get what I mean. It might not be feasible in this moment, or it might not be possible at all. Because if we're talking about, and I'm not sensing this, but it's just to show an example. If we're talking about someone who wishes they could have reconciled with someone before they passed away, a grandparent, a parent, aunt, uncle, child, whatever, you know, that's a crystallized moment. You can't get that back. You see what I mean? But I'm not sensing that oh my God, overtly. Okay, if that applies, go ahead and apply it. But there's a wish to be in a different place, in a different time, with a different person, or with different people. There's a wish to be in a different environment. Okay. There's a wish that I could go back to, maybe in some cases, like a dream. Like I dreamed of becoming a pilot. Let's say it was something about a career. Because, you know, this aspect of the devil embodied, or not embodied, but associated with Capricorn. Capricorn is about performative actions in the outside world. Your career, your public personas, how you show up in a social dynamic, what your role is in that social dynamic. This person may have adhered to or may be performing a certain role that they don't want to. I always wanted to be an airline pilot, but what am I now? Middle management in the restaurant industry. You know what I mean? Or maybe I always wanted to volunteer my time, but because I'm a workaholic, that's another thing that people can be addicted to. That's another thing that people can be codependent on, is busy work, right? But their internal world is, I'm flying the skies, or I'm traveling the world. But no, actually, I work 60 hours a week instead of living my dream. So this dream is in the back of this person's mind. It just sits there. It doesn't do anything. They're not pursuing it. No. Seven of Wands, reverse. Whatever the dream is, whatever that represents to them or you, it goes nowhere. It's just there in the back of their mind. They often probably explore it in their fantasies, in their dreams, like in their dreaming world, like when they go to sleep, literally. And below that is the Seven of Wands in reverse. Show this card upright so you can see it better. So here you have this very fierce character on the Seven of Wands, looking like she is ready to stand her ground and really, you know, put up a good fight, defend her position, defend herself, make it known that she's not going anywhere. But oh no, it's in the reverse. So this person is defeatist. I said that before when I was talking about the Page of Coins. This is a defeatist energy. They give up. They don't fight. They don't engage in explanations in some cases. You might ask this person, why did you do this? Or why are you doing this? And they won't respond. Or their response is weak sauce, if I'm honest. It's like, That's not a real explanation. That doesn't really make logical sense. Or, yeah, it doesn't, it doesn't make logical sense. How come this? Well, that. And they say, well, because of this. And you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. But remember what we talked about earlier in the reading. This person is emotional, or they feel their way through life. So if you ask someone who tends to be, quote unquote, emotional, so emotional, it's such a shitty criticism, because that's a person's strength. It doesn't, Anyway, I'm not going to get into it. So this person, you might say to them, or you acknowledge, this person is so emotional. So when you go to an emotional person, you say, how come this and how come that? Or explain this to me, and your motivation is to have a logical explanation, this person will struggle with making it logical or making it practical for your desired answer, what you're looking to understand, what you're looking to discern from the situation. A lot of people have that disconnect with others. Not saying it's you, not saying it's them, not saying it's anybody. I'm not criticizing it, but that's a fact. So what I'm sensing is this person doesn't offer explanations that satisfy others, or they don't defend themselves in a way that could satisfy themselves. That's kind of deep. They don't give explanations, reasonings that would satisfy others, and they don't defend themselves or stand up for themselves in a way that would satisfy themselves. It's pretty simple. Even though I think that's kind of deep or a little nuanced or something, I think it's also pretty straightforward. Outcome Virgo, Eight of Wands. Now, traditionally, the Eight of Wands talks about communication, coming in quickly, things being revealed or insights coming in, and they come in, very swiftly. Pardon me. And that might be true to a certain extent in this situation. But actually, this particular Eight of Wands looks chaotic to me. So there might be some ruckus. There might be some, because it's not like, if you know what the traditional tarot shows with the Eight of Wands fly through the sky in ordered, structured. It looks very, what's that word? Oh, fuck, I'm not going to be able to remember what that word is. It was in my mind and then it went out. Ordered. Thank you. Structured. Yeah. Those Eight of Wands in the sky there, and then all these animals, and it just looks haphazard. It looks very rushed. It looks very awkward, right? So if there is communication, or if there is a discussion, if there is some type of revelation or information exchanged or given or received, it's not going to make a lot of sense. It could be haywire. It could be sudden, but then stops. There could be developments and progress, but then it stops. Because and God, I'm going to have a hard time explaining this, because physics was not my jam in school, and it's still not, even though I respect it. When you shoot an arrow, or if you throw a javelin or something like that, or you throw a damn stick, throw a wand, right? If you throw it in the air, I think you would get a further trajectory, or a further, it would travel further if you threw it like a javelin. If you threw it from long end to long end, right? Like that. Versus if you threw it it's just this is possibly not going to go very far. It's not going to be very... the reaches of this communication, because I do feel it is communication. If not communication, some type of action, because wands show up in a physical way in terms of what we do, how we go from point A to point B. How do we progress, right? It's not going to go very far. I feel that something stops it, blocks it, deters it, or the initial point Like not enough juice, not enough gas in the tank to actually make the journey. Something like that. It's kind of like, let's take a road trip. Let's drive 1,000 miles, but I've got a half a tank of gas and not enough money to get gas on the way. It's like, well, you're not going to make 1,000 miles on half a tank of gas, right? You're just not. I mean, I guess maybe if you're driving like a Tesla or something, or some type of, eco-friendly car, maybe you might make it, but no, you probably won't make it. So it's like that. This is not enough energy, action, communication. It's just not enough to get the job done. This Eight of Wands in this particular deck, that artwork and the energy that's associated with it in this moment is just not enough to make it happen. So someone's going to fall short of the mark, basically. Or some situation is going to fall short of the mark, okay? Overall energy, Virgo, for May is the Four of Wands. Foundation, stability, home life, and this is an imperative. This is the focal point, I feel. This is the meat and potatoes of the entire situation, the meat and the potatoes. This is above all else what is important here. Stability, structure, family life, connections with those that we love and trust the most, and solidifying that or maintaining this. And it's beautiful, it's a wonderful scene, but I feel as though we are the viewers of this, right? We're not a part of that card. You, me, as the audience, as the viewer of this card, are not a part of this. Yeah? So there's some outside perspective here, or there's someone who feels from the outside, feels as though they're on the outside, but they still value this. Imposter syndrome is possibly what this is. You're a part of a family dynamic, but you feel as though you are actually not a part of it. You live in the same house with your family members. You go to work with your coworkers, but you feel as though you don't belong there. Imposter syndrome. This is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not worthy of this. I can't actually help this, but I want to help this. I can't have this, but I actually want to try and have this. It's really weird. I hope you get that. I could go further than that, but no, we're not going to. Yeah, thank you. We're not going to. It's a pretty deep reading, but I think for those that it resonated with, it made pretty good sense. Virgo, if you like this reading, please hit the like button. If you want to share how this resonated in your life, feel free to do so in the in the comment section below. If you want to share, let other people know you like watching my videos or that there was a message here for you, that'd be cool. And if you have not subscribed, my friends, please consider giving me a hit on the subscribe button there. Virgo, I'm going to be back soon with your mid-May messages and your June messages after that. If you want to see me on a personal level, see me on a personal level. If you want to work with me, thank you, on a personal level, that information is down below. You can hit me up for a private reading. If you want to follow me on Instagram, that information is also in the description box, okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care.